Lisa, a captivating American woman with luxurious chestnut curls, radiated confidence and passion at 45. Her favorite pastime was horseback riding, and she spent hours training at a stable just outside the city. That world, filled with powerful horses and fresh air, became her escape, a sanctuary where she could flee the monotony of married life. Little did she know, this passion would awaken secret desires that had been lying dormant within her. Her trainer, Alexander, was a tall, dark-haired man with piercing eyes. He didn't just teach Lisa the art of horseback riding, he inadvertently became part of her hidden fantasies. Every day, his mastery over the horses and flawless control stirred something wild inside Lisa, something she'd kept buried even from herself. One afternoon, after an intense training session, Lisa stood catching her breath, her body glistening with a light sheen of sweat as she swung her riding crop. Alexander approached her, stepping closer than usual. His strong hands rested on her hips, sending her heart racing. "You did great today, Lisa," he murmured, his breath brushing against her ear and sending a pleasant shiver down her spine. "Your body moves so gracefully, like a wild cat ready to pounce." Lisa felt her knees weaken. She had never experienced such raw, primal attraction to another person. It was as though Alexander knew exactly how to unlock the emotions she had tried to suppress. I should go," she stammered, but her legs refused to move, as if bound by his unseen control. Alexander smirked, a playful glint in his eyes. "Stay, Lisa. Let's continue this lesson in a different way." She couldn't resist. Lisa let him take her hand and lead her into his small room in the stable, where they usually discussed training strategies. But today was different. Inside, Alexander closed the door, dimming the room. Lisa felt like a cornered prey, and she found the sensation thrilling. Alexander stepped closer, pressing her against the wall. His strong hands slid under her shirt, exploring every inch of her smooth skin. "You're so hot, Lisa. Your body craves my touch," he whispered, leaning into her. Lisa moaned softly as his hands reached her chest, gently massaging. She felt both conquered and exhilarated by the pleasure of his dominance. "I want you to be my obedient mare, Lisa," Alexander breathed into her ear, making her heart pound wildly. "Let me saddle you and show you how wild nature can be passionate." Lisa couldn't speak. She only nodded, surrendering to his suggestion. Alexander was her trainer, but in that moment, he became the master of her desires. The wild instinct within her was finally set free. He stepped back, watching her struggle to catch her breath, her chest rising and falling under the light fabric of her shirt. Slowly, Alexander began to undress her, peeling away her clothes as if they were barriers to her true self. When he finished, his hand trailed down her body, from her shoulders to her hips, savoring every curve. "You're stunning, my mare. Your body was made for pleasure." Lisa's pulse quickened, and she felt warmth pooling between her thighs. She had never experienced such an uncontrollable desire to surrender completely. Alexander knelt before her, kissing the inside of her thighs, his lips moving closer to her most sensitive spot. His tongue teased her, sending jolts of pleasure through her body. "Oh, yes, Alexander," she gasped, tangling her fingers in his hair. He grinned, relishing her reaction, and delved deeper, causing her to shudder with delight. Lisa felt a wave of ecstasy building, but Alexander was relentless, determined to push her to the edge. "Don't finish yet, my mare. I want you to come at your own pace," he commanded, his voice firm, yet laced with passion. Lisa tried to hold back, restraining the overwhelming sensations. She felt like a wild horse yearning to break free, yet she reveled in the reins that held her in place. Alexander stood, shedding his own clothes. His muscular body was a masterpiece, like that of a predator ready to claim its prey. Lisa watched him, her body trembling with anticipation. He lifted her effortlessly, pressing her against the wall. His hardness nudged her thigh, and he whispered, "Ride me, like the Amazon you are." Lisa obeyed, moving with him, taking control of the pace. Alexander gripped her firmly, his hands roaming lower. "Your body is magnificent, Lisa. I want you to climax while you're on me," he growled, his voice thick with desire. The pleasure surged with every motion. Lisa threw her head back, her soft cries echoing through the stable. "Yes, Alexander, I. Lisa couldn't finish her sentence as her body quivered, waves of ecstasy coursing through her. Alexander held her tightly, letting her ride out every second of her release. He was her guide into this wild, forbidden realm of pleasure. When her trembling subsided, Alexander gently set her down, their bodies still intertwined. Lisa felt drained yet deeply fulfilled. "That was incredible," she whispered, her voice hoarse from the intensity of it all. Alexander smiled, his eyes gleaming with satisfaction. "This is only the beginning, Lisa. Your wild side has just awakened. There's so much more I'll show you." Lisa knew their bond had transcended ordinary riding lessons. This was the start of something deeper, something primal, that she had unknowingly craved for so long. As they dressed, Lisa's heart still raced. She understood their secret connection would change her life forever, and she was ready for the wild journey that lay ahead.